Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's the 2nd of November 2023, 12:39 p.m. in the space-time continuum, Brisbane time, Australia, Southern Hemisphere, planet Earth, wherever we are in this this living hellscape that I'm barely surviving. I made a video during the night, and for some reason it was still buffering and hadn't posted when I woke up this morning, and then I struggled with it for a few hours this morning to get it to publish and buffer. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but it's starting to feel fucking personal. But anyway, here you go. It's either my iPhone playing up, or it's a malfeasant YouTube spotty-faced, the equivalent of a spotty-faced malfeasant little teenager in a basement somewhere being malevolent, right? But the Tanya is nothing if not intrepid. So I'm going to make another fresh video, and I'm going to just put the funny stories from yesterday and today, and we'll try again, shall we? We will try again. I'm really not well. I'm not COVID positive anymore, but my lungs are a bit ragged. I've been coughing a lot this morning, and I had to take some Ventolin not that long ago. And my cleaning lady, Rati, has been here. She's sent by the government to look after me a bit. She comes once a week to clean. And even she was a bit worried, but I'm okay. I'm holding my own. I've had a sweet little internet romance that lasted 10 days in the middle of the COVID crisis when I was struck down with COVID, and I was really quite ill with that. And it struck me with great bemusement that every time I start a new romance with a man, it's when I'm vulnerable and cycling the drain of death. There's no accidents in the universe. That's another repeat pattern. So I had a little chuckle to myself about that this morning. I do wish men wouldn't sort of flock to me when I'm weak and vulnerable, and then when I rise up in my own power as a woman and my own mana, my own spiritual prowess, my own strength, they run with their tails between their legs because they can't handle me. If you can't handle me when I'm healthy, what good are you when I'm sick and vulnerable? Because you're not going to be there for me then either. But I have to say, this gentleman kept me very amused for 10 days. I shall call it the 10 days of awe, which are the holy days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And they're a perfectly encapsulated 10 days of holiness that get opened up to God and the spirit world with the beginning of a fresh new year full of vibrancy and hope and potential and blossoming and love. Being love has an organic thing. It has to be breathed life into and gently nurtured and caressed and kissed, and it has to be built upon. And then, on the 10th day, with the days of awe I'm talking about in Judaism, it all gets packaged in the most dark and depressive way and put away, with atonement, at-one-ment, with a promise to God to be purified and cleansed of all our sins. So I'm jokingly calling this little internet romance that appeared randomly out of the blue, was quite shocking to my mind, body and spirit, has on the 10th day closed itself down. And that's okay. Everything has its season, people. And it was quite lovely and awe-inspiring, and reminded me that I've still got it going on, baby, even if it's only a superficial, transient thing. And it inspires me that there's hope for me yet, that, a true love might actually manifest in my life and show up, keep up, take me out, make an effort to get to know me in 3D reality, and not just for sex, but actually, be heartfelt and sincere and genuine. This person arising the way he did and descending the way he did reminds me by those actions. There's someone out there that actually has my front and my back and will be loyal and faithful and loving, and I probably haven't met him yet, and I may not meet him in this dimension, in this physical realm. He may be out there, and my prince, my king may be out there like an imaginary fairy story in another dimension in the next incarnation. Of course, I won't look like a short fat hobbit in the next incarnation, and it's very likely I'll be the man, as often happens in my life. But I'm good with it. I'm very contented and very blessed. And if my lungs don't play up too badly tomorrow night, I'll be out dancing, which is what I do every weekend. And I'll be shaking my ass, which seemed to stimulate this last gentleman, the idea of me shaking my ass. I'll be shaking my ass as I often do when I'm dancing. And I'll be delighting in my own life force and my own chi. And even in those that come to dance with me, drawn to my light and my courage and my self-determination, babies. So it's a beautiful life, and I'm cleaving to it, even as my lungs feel a bit torn to shreds this morning. It is what it is. So on that note, I will begin my reading. These are memories that I have annotated and recorded and kept precious. Some of them are sweet little memories and some of them weird, but that's my life as I know it, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. So yesterday on the 1st of November I wrote 11:11 a.m. The gods, angels, elementals have my back. In the gods I trust. Humans not so much. But here we are again, on that hell loop without end, haunted and hunted by shades of the past that keep trying to toxify my present. Well, motherfuckers, I have the power. Always had it. Will always have it. Even when I know, oh dear goddess, I know I've been had. The triple goddess cosmic yoke will play itself out in 3 stages: maiden, mother, and crone, and always from the house of David. Hilarious. Why, I ought to write a song about it. The ballad of love turned vituperous, the death waltz to eternity, the bit players and the vampires of old. We've come to suck your blood, feed off your life force that is so fucking legendary. Mama T rolls back on her haunches, extricating unholy attachments as we speak. Nuh-uh, fool, I don't think so. I've got this. Another shadow man feeding me on illusions while he gratifies his desires behind a laptop. Another trickster spirit sent to me by the gods to remind me of what and who is real in my life. Whose heart is true, loyal, faithful, open and embracing, with only pure intentions towards me. Passion, romance that is authentic and revealed in the harsh light of day and in the refracted glory of the moon. Sighs. This was a test. Real love is coming, if I don't let time wasters close me down for another 10 years. And then I wrote one of my prose type, poem type ramblings. She stood alone, watching the light changing as the day stretched itself into different tones and hues, vortices of space and time converging in and out of ordinary reality. Her heart, her carapace, shellacked, shell-shocked but kintsugi'd heart, thrummed to a deadly slow beat. Not much longer, my love, it thrummed to her with a low bass note of despair. But a higher pitch outside of her hearing sent her a different note. Your heart will go on. Your fierce, determined, spiritual heart will never die. Never. So shelve that despair and lift your head up and know I love you beyond mortal ken, beyond time and space, beyond dimensions and the weft and warp of matrices created just for you, little one. I have you, hold you, protect you. Her wolf shakes out his fur. She rests her hand on his head, strokes his fur pensively. Howls in a silent streaming that slowly crescendos to a cosmic banshee screaming. A long, slow growl, another bass note joins her. Fear not, little one. Your time is now. Don't you comprehend? Your magic is happening. Let the weak, vicious, and spiteful fall to their own doom. They've had their fun. Now go out and have yours. What is truly yours can never be stolen, strangled, raped out of you. You know that. You are the living embodied proof of that. So let them play like inclement evil vermin. You've got this. I just had my debrief with my handsome, wise soul brother, my psychiatrist. I told him how I had started an internet romance whilst simultaneously fending off death in the form of COVID-19, BA 2.6. Yup, I finally gained my BA from the University of both life and death. Thanks for the cosmic ass kick, oh holy one. Brian smirked. Of course you did, Tanya. Did you not always say that facing death makes everyone want to fuck? I nodded sagely. Death and I have had our weird erotic unfurlings since way back. I told him about the preternatural rage I had for 2 days that came like a firestorm out of hell but blew COVID out of my meridians. I told him how on day 8 that alien bioengineered entity had scanned all my organs like an invisible, invidious CAT scan. And when it scanned my heart, practically the only organ that is not diseased or been repaired or removed, how I yelled at the parasitic alien energy that it can just fuck off my heart as well. My brain and heart are the only pristine, precious organs I have left. Thinking about it, I should donate both those tender organs to science or a museum somewhere after I eventually die, like Robert the Bruce's heart being worn by Black Douglas until he was cut down in that Malay in Granada, Spain. Brian nodded. Your heart-brain coherences are incredibly powerful and healthy in spite of everything you endured in this life. I told him how my mind constantly craves to die, even after decades of therapy, but I witnessed my body fight for her survival with the most astonishingly humbling, terrifying power, such as I have never witnessed before. Well, I have actually witnessed that before, but this time it was very intense. So unless I keep getting reinfected with COVID, I know I will not be dying anytime soon, and I may even reanimate my blossoming sexuality when or if the right man comes along. I will have my fully restored power as a woman, as a spirit again, smiley face. Brian said, I keep drawing them in, and when they get too passionate, I push them away. I said, no, I do enjoy playing with them when I am out dancing, but I don't want them sexually. I need a good, kind, stable, strong, decent man. Not those lost boys or disappointing wastrels. Not one has been serious in over 13 years. Instead, I have my beautiful, safe love story. It's a bit pathetic, people. With my beautiful friend and alter egos, because he and I are friends and we protect each other. I have other men in my life who treat me with genuine care and authenticity and remain platonic, mainly because they are either gay or asexual or married, therefore unavailable, and will never rock my world by a quick frottering that leaves an aching emptiness and dissolution for decades. If I am going to take myself down from the shelf of sexual atrophy, dust myself off, don my corset, shake my voluminous ass, both horizontally and vertically, for the love of all the gods. This time, it better be meaningful, heartfelt, orgasmic, sensational, and with it. Or why bother? Yeah? Yeah. From Thanatos to Eros in minus 5 seconds at 180 kilometers per hour, we might even create a new paradigm together. Leave the other awful past in the dust. Blow out the cobwebs. Elevate the saggage in the baggage. Fucking fly. Well, damn, that's a nice fantasy. But I live in my own realistic world. When I told Brian the New Flame's incendiary surname, even his mouth dropped in horror. He said, more to soothe me, his long-time mental patient, let's see how this plays out. Hopefully it's not the worst case scenario. Maybe it's someone wise and strong. Wise and strong, bejesus. Surprise. Lying in bed, nurturing my heart. The heart that even COVID didn't dare infest on my orders. I hear 360. It was a tinny, almost metallic sounding tone. It was very unusual. It was a very unusual voice or sound. 360. But distinctly male. I smile to myself. Full circle. I ask myself why I let that malevolent demon David Davidson sabotage me yet again. Why I let my own subconscious allow that one to sabotage me. He went on to remarry and have 3 more beautiful children. Like, what does he even want after all these years? Dead 7 years, and he's still jerking my chain. Weird shit. Like cures like, he mutters into my ear. I flap him away from me. Go away, you homeopath psychopath. You were never my true love, or even a true friend. So go to hell. You have no say over whom I have in my life now, or ever. You've done your best handiwork. Leave me alone. After all, even in life, that is what you specialised in. But here's the humorous thought. Life is like a box of chocolates. It could be a sword you impale yourself on, or a Kit Kat flavoured like mayonnaise. Either way, the result is the same. Love you all. And here's a photo of a mayonnaise flavoured Kit Kat. I don't know who could possibly have thought of that idea. It's clearly an Asian brand with Asian writing. But, ooh. 1st of November 2022, 1 year ago, 10:59 a.m. I just woke up after finally falling asleep at 6:17 a.m. I was so enervated all night. Where is this energy coming from? Menopause? The gods? Delighting in all the love from the neighbourhood visiting for Halloween? A shift in the cosmos? Even Beauregard was a tad sleepless last night. He was excited too. Oh, my beautiful Bobo, I miss you so much, my baby. Just under 5 hours sleep. Gah! It's going to be a wild ride through my imagination today. Or there will be spiritual messengers flinging tributes at me thick and fast. Or maybe I will just fall asleep again, smiley face. It's raining. It started raining during the night. It's much cooler as yesterday the humidity was building. My garden looks refreshed and happy. Everything is singing in perfect harmonic resonance. Love to you all. Good morning. Boker tov, which is Hebrew for good morning. 3:44 a.m. I haven't slept, not cool. I might as well get up and eat something. Sleep eludes me. I have a churning excitement, as though all my dreams are about to come true all at once. Absurdist, but nevertheless stimulating to my brain. I have a sense of destiny, like I have found my place and my peace. What fresh delusion is this? No idea, so I might as well roll with it, smiley face. 1:11 a.m. I really need to sleep now. I had a lovely day in spite of the humidity, dressed as a witch with my underbust corset and black long-sleeved blouse and black velvet maxi skirt, which was quite hot on Halloween last year. I loved seeing all the children in their costumes too. I was grateful for their parents who shared in the magic too. Life is good. November 1st, 2021. I just had a lovely walk along the streets to the Pine Mountain Road entrance to Whites Hill Reserve. Bobo, Charlie and I meandered all the way through the forest to the back of my house. It was a longer walk than I usually have, so halfway through my thighs started aching like I'd just got off a horse. I am not at all an athletic exercise person, so even walking longer distance causes me quite considerable pain. My lungs are also struggling after I gave myself an industrial injury by inhaling all that ceramic glass dust like the fucked up goober artiste I truly am. So there were quite a few puffs of Ventolin and a long slow walk together to force my recalcitrant fat hobbit body to heal itself. I listened to my own podcast as something to do to pass the time while we walked. Also curious why 28 other souls had bothered to listen to it. So that was kind of interesting. It's a pity I can't know who these listeners are or how they are affected by my true stories of ghostly encounters. I wanted it to be a spiritual circle with shared stories, but somehow I've had no one contact me. But perhaps they have, but Spotify or Anchor have not passed on their messages. All good in the hood. I am here in this 3D reality, and if spirits or humans want to communicate with me, they find a way. Although I had a spammer on Instagram try that shit the other day, so I had to block them. It's not easy to contact me if you are a creep or a spammer or a bot or some other kind of malevolent cur. The funny thing was that as soon as I typed that I suspect they are a scammer, they replied, "Yes, where are you?" Like they admitted it, then carried on demanding my ASL. So probably not even a human entity. Anyway, me and my lungs, squidgy thighs and weird intellect had a lovely day today and yesterday. The veil is thin and I am feeling soul-nourished and blessed. And so there is that. I feel the need to share this again, not sure why. I wonder how that boy, name redacted but the son of David Davidson, is doing now. And no, I won't contact him. The entire synchronous episode was too peculiar. Then only 3.5 years later, the entire globe got slammed with the COVID epoch. The dead were literally smashing on my door, possibly trying to warn me, threaten me, demand forgiveness or my attention. Well, let his gods deal with his father. He was so perverted and evil, I very much doubt it was his Jewish god he paid lip service to, like the befouled satyr he truly was. And I know, I too, have seeded chunks of my soul with my endless rage, grief, trauma I acquired from that man and the few lovers that followed him. Yuck. I deserve a truly loyal, decent partner. Not that egoic, sadistic shit show. It's hard to reconcile that I am destined to finish out my life alone in an actual zombie apocalypse for the love of all the gods. But yesterday I was gifted sweet delights of little Halloween children, intrepidly climbing my scary witchy stairs to receive blessings and tribute on the holy night of the new year, Samhain, which in the southern hemisphere is really Beltane, but we synchronized with the northern hemisphere. I am quit crying about not having a life partner or grandchildren, as I have something far more authentic, a deep, deep spiritual love, gifted by the gods, my bird and dog and 3 goldfish, true friends, and 2 daughters out there somewhere, one of whom randomly lands in my orbit occasionally. November 1st, 2020. More and more I'm finding profound joy in walking my walk with my unique... Oh, excuse me. Oh. On that note, oh, there we are. My laptop did a little glitch. I'll start that again. More and more, I am finding profound joy in walking my walk with my unique, rather complex blend of spirituality, standing in my own truth and integrity, even when for decades I was fighting, mostly alone, has gifted me a measure of both self-esteem and peace. Shalom. Shalom, people. Sometimes I had to go batshit berserker to survive, without actually killing anyone, just saying. But even then the gods blessed me with enough courage and strength to get me and my 2 children to safety. 8 moves in 8 years. It was harrowing. But now I am 55 and a half, and life is just so beautiful and magical. There are days when I am still steeped in darkness, old demons from my family of origin, or vicious exes that still haunt me on occasion. And the last one that's not dead that was cycling around me, I kept seeing him at Crossroads in 2020, popping up here, there and everywhere looking at me. It was bizarre, people. Given he hadn't spoken to me since December 2020, he was popping up everywhere last year. And it's like, why? Why bother? What's the spiritual connection? He didn't want me. He chose other women constantly and shoved them in my face. So I'm not here to be played with or tormented by weak, pathetic, lackluster, false lovers. Just saying. Also my own fears and doubts that assume me, particularly when my health is bad. It's like someone putting a big foot on my head or chest and trying to drown me when I am barely treading water. But there have always been the most spectacular earth angels who saw me in my struggles and lifted me up by the hair and breathed new life or hope or gifted me with their generosity so that I could continue on my journey to becoming whole and holy, even in my festering middle-aged body, with my splintering wit and flagging health, which has always been a battle of will. Yet today, here I am, in Hebrew, Hineni. I am so blessed and so grateful and so happy for the love the multiverses bestowed on me and is still bestowing on me, by the way. No matter how great or small, some of my greatest loves were non-human. Life, be in it. Let it guide you through troubled waters and stolid, stubborn droughts, through hailstorms and sunshine, through all the good and the bad. Hold your head up high. Keep your eye on the sky. Keep your bare feet on the earth and let it resonate through your body, mind and spirit, and be free to be in all paradigms. The ones who truly see you and love you and honour you will find you. Blessed be. 1st of November 2019, and I comment on it's a comment on a prose about women becoming more rebellious, more radical and less conservative with age, but we become more invisible as well. Men no longer see us as resources to exploit. She's wrong about that. Through this wisdom, women start seeing the world for what it really is. Older women are vital to women's liberation, and younger women need to sit down and listen, lest history keep repeating, if only right. But young women keep making the same exact mistakes generation after generation because women's communities don't exist and we are cut off from one another. If older women were able to influence younger women instead of patriarchy getting a hold of them, things would be so different in the world today. Firstly, young women would stop catering to the male gaze and obsessing about getting male validation. Young women wouldn't have their sexuality and identity colonised because they would value relationships with women over men, look up to women instead of men as authority, and strive to make one another proud, rather than forever desperate for male approval and visibility. And I must say, I have enjoyed my time in the Women's Metalsmith Collective because it is an environment where we are all cheering each other on and encouraging each other in our silversmithing and metal work. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's women of all ages, classes, creeds across the world. And I'm so valuing and appreciative of their kindness towards me, encouraging me in my silversmithing journey. God's bless to all you beautiful, wise, courageous, fierce women. Anyway, this little story continues. Wouldn't that be great if we wanted pride in one another? Wouldn't that be great if we trusted each other, saw strength and opportunities in one another rather than in men? The only way to obtain this is by connecting with and valuing older women, young women. Listen to old women. They are the reason the movement continues. You should thank them. And those words were written by Kathleen Robertson. And my comment to that was, even as a child and a young woman, I instinctively gravitated to the wisdom and often nurturing of older, wiser women. It used to drive my mother nuts that I sought out knowledge from other wise women. I was actually craving support, validation, and the unconditional guiding love I was not getting at home. I am grateful for all my mothers who stepped into the role and affirmed both my existence and my femininity. And I can add to that in hindsight, because I wrote that in 2019, my masculine traits as well. My psychiatrist recently reminded me that I have very masculine traits as part of my armouring and my spiritual protection. And he believes that I am indeed androgynous. And I was a bit annoyed about that when he initially made that comment, but I have thought about it, and it's true. And it's probably why when my inner man comes out to fiercely protect my very, very voluptuous, feminine and vulnerable body, the men literally are terrified and head for the hills. And so if you've met my inner man and my wolf protector spirit, or indeed my archangel, look out when my archangel steps in, because I very rarely call upon that energy for assistance, because I think it is hubris and vanity to waste the time of the archangels who are busy, singing songs, protecting people from dying in car wrecks, performing miracles all over the known universe. Who am I to call upon them, right? But when my archangel steps in, gods forfend whatever dirty, evil, perverted, rapey, murderous motherfucker is in my vision, because I don't unleash that lightly, because it's not an energy that I have any control over, and by the way, it has consequences for me to call upon that. Angels are not to be messed with lightly. But I had cause to be concerned recently about 3 or 4 weeks ago, or even maybe 6 weeks ago. I was conducting one of my little trance drummings, and the angels reminded me in no uncertain terms. They said, don't be afraid to call upon us, Tanya. I'm just going to get my charger, just one moment. Don't be afraid to call upon us, they said. We will be at your side in a millisecond. And so I wondered if I was in danger, because as I said, I only ever call upon them if I am in very imminent danger. I mean, there's barely enough time for a human being to do an intervention in that case, because sometimes things unfold very, very suddenly and very rapidly, and I don't have time to think. I'll be in that instance behaving very instinctively and primally to keep myself safe and alive. It's happened in the past too many times. So it's a bugger about this charging cord not reaching, because now I'm going to have trouble holding the phone. But anyway, yes, I'm grateful, as I said, to my feminine traits and my masculine traits and my spirit guardians, my wolf and my angels. And no doubt the elementals too, whoever is around in times of great danger, have always come to my aid. Sometimes not quite in a timely way, sometimes not without me, having been strangled and taking weeks or months to recover from that trauma, but I'm alive, ain't I? And that is astonishing, an astonishing superhuman feat that I survived not once, but 3 times. So when I arc up in my spirit, and when I tell new flames that are getting a little bit too hot and heavy and a little bit too enthusiastic, that I don't have time for nonsense, and I want to be safe. I want to be loved, cherished, respected and adored. I don't want to be invaded bodily, you know, seduced or lured too quickly or too early. Because the men that do that are never genuine. They're never sincere. You know, they literally blow and go, as come in like a firestorm and go blow out just as quickly. And if I'm going to enter into a new partnership, an affair, a love affair, romance, a partnership for, weeks or months, years, even, well, who knows. I haven't been lucky in love in the past, let's face it. But if I'm going to give someone an opportunity to be my man, my partner, things need to be done properly and respectfully with genuine care. And that cuts both ways, from my heart to his and his heart to mine. True love knows, beyond dimensions, whose heart is real, and they know not to play foolish, dangerous games with my heart, especially my heart, because it's been put through too much, far too much in the past. I'm not going to sacrifice my freedom for something that's not loving and not true. I just won't. And I don't want soul attachments like I had with Dave Charles for 10 years and prior to that with David Davidson, who married another woman, had 3 children with her. I don't want that. I don't want them haunting me on my door, proclaiming everlasting, eternal, undying love, because they didn't love me. If they loved me, they would have chosen me. They would have stayed with me, and they would have been my partner to this very day, respectfully, with authentic, heartfelt care. Not like that shitty first and only marriage I had with the father of my children. I don't want that. I don't want abusers. And I don't want liars. I don't want con men. I don't want thieves. I want someone loyal, faithful and true, with eyes only for me, not because I'm insecure and jealous, but, I just want to know that they look at me and their eyes light up with real delight and joy, and we have a joyful, loving, peaceful partnership for however long we both stay alive, right? I deserve that, and I'm quite sure, a man that wants to be with me and chooses me deserves that too. We deserve to have a lovely life together. Otherwise, I just stay on my own. I'm quite contented on my own, really. It'll be 29 years on the 1st of January next year. So just over 2 months. 29 years of living alone. I'm not weak. I'm not pathetic. I've struggled on my own for a long time. And I can continue this way quite easily. If I'm going to shift my entire world paradigm and open my heart, body, mind, spirit to a man, he's got to show up, shape up, keep up, and we've got to have lightheartedness and fun and joy as well. He's got to be genuine though. Okay, on that note, you see, I'm the psychedelic dreamer. I've been dreaming for a true love connection for 58 and a half years. I have never given up on that dream. Never. So I'll skip 2017 because it was all about ill health, and I really had 3 years of most terrible teeth and nerve pain in my jaw and teeth, and I nearly didn't survive that. I was actively suicidal because the pain was so extraordinarily agonising. So I will skip all that. If you want to read all those details from 2017, because they're intense, I literally do a chronology of each year, what I was struggling with in each year, and it's intense. I'm looking at it going, oh my God, I don't even know why I'm alive. Why am I alive, people? Because I'm waiting for my one true love, like a pathetic little romantic and idealist. It's ridiculous is what it is. But, you know, someone gave me hope in the last 10 days of awe as I lay floundering, trying to stay alive. And if I can do that when I'm half dead, can you imagine what the girl's got in her when she's fully revivified again, baby? But they're frightened of my love. They're frightened of my passion. They're frightened of my life force. They're frightened of my power, my chi, my mana. On the tail end of that reading, I've just seen it. I will read that out to you. I never completely fell out of, this is in 2017, trust me, I'm out of love with that entity now, because he was just a vampire wasting my heart for years. I never completely fell out of love with the last love interest. The love that was spurned and unrequited and blighted still burns. It has nourished me with delusional confusion, but a fusion holding me to this earth in a quest for recognition and hopeful reconnection. It is beautiful, my heart and its yearnings. It is my superpower, a fierce and misunderstood essence, crazy but stoic. I had to fall in love with myself too, to remember who I am as each time life knocked me down. But I got up again, sometimes flying high like an eagle, other times plummeting in a death swirl like a clay pigeon. Well, almost done. My goose is almost cooked, even if I am half-baked and naked and sacred in sacred space. Love is the law of the multiverses. Never forget. 2016, I was writing about burying my beautiful hen, Ruby. So much sadness. Also, this is 2016. Also sad that Ruby died. Love and loss, life and death, swings and roundabouts at sacred space. I think, I hope, I pray that I'm being prepared for a different kind of life. Oh, I sure as shit was. Not sure what that might be yet. I feel vaguely curious and interested to see what next year holds for me. I know one thing for certain. It is both terrifying, mortifying, and hilarious. The angels have my back. Leaving Las Vegas just popped into my head, my swan song, like Hallelujah was. Every time I let it go and try to walk away, my angels bring my real loves back to me in a constant circle of faith. Trust? Hard to trust after the constant games and bullshit. Love is eternal. Love is my superpower. Love is my affliction, addiction, and delusion. But oh, what fun. So how many years ago was that? 7 years, and I'm still 360 degrees, dancing in the same hell loop. Almost pushed myself off the groove onto a new groove in the last 10 days, but if a man ain't grooving with me, well, what can you do? It's groovy, baby. Now these are funny stories, you'll like these. 1st of November, 2015. Last night, On arrival outside the lift in the casino car park, two younger men approached me. One asked my name. Tanya? But that is a Russian name. Then he spoke some phrases to me in Russian. I smiled. I said, I can't answer to that, as I don't speak Russian, as my people were Polish. So all I can say to you is, Dzień dobry. Good morning. He was charmed. We chatted in the lift. I said, my people were Polish, but my mother was German, and so you see what a delicious little mixed up ball of witchiness you have here. He chuckled and said, yes, the universe made you extra special for sure. I quipped, I was not born, but created, like all good witches. When we stepped out of the lift, I asked them if they were gambling or dancing. Gambling. So I blessed them with a big win for the night. But remember to watch out for Baba Yaga as she walks tonight. The sweet talkative one, half sprinting to the tables, stepped back over to me and blessed me in return with a sweet kiss on the cheek. I was delighted. I said, you honour me. Russians get very sentimental around me. I have the face of a Slav slapped on top of my hobbit, Bauern, that means peasant, body. Bauern is German for peasant. The dead homeopath psychopath David Davidson said I had the body of a peasant that was made to plough fields all day long, to denigrate me and put me down, make me feel ugly and worthless. But he was right about that. I'll give him it. I have got a very strong body that keeps me alive against my own will most of the time. So we won't be knocking my short, fat hobbit body. She's a force to be reckoned with, babies. The soul of a Jew and a witch and a Viking warrior. Perfect in my conflated confabulation, except it is not really confabulation if it is true, darlings. At the end of the night, hanging outside with George, another young Russian man spotted me and greeted us in Russian. I said, what is this, Wognite? You are the third Russian I have met tonight. He said, I know, we are everywhere tonight. Another cutie. Some handsome younger lunatic with a container full of butts tried to woo me. I speak 7 languages. Hungarian is my native tongue. I also speak Latin, Greek, German, Dutch, English. I had caught the mad glint in his eye. He had to be mad, as he clearly fancied me, and I am a madman magnet. So to be kind and humour him a little, I said, speak to me in German. He answered, who is your Vater? He only spoke Vater in German. So I answered, meine Vater ist ein großer Affe. My father is a fat ape. Well, in truth, he's probably not fat right now, but he sure is an ape. A horrible, violent man I am estranged from for good reason. Anyway, the lunatic dreamboat could not speak German, but he understood Gross and declared he has a cousin in Paris doing a PhD in French linguistics with that name. She is Hungarian, but refuses to live there. Probably true, but I became aware of a serious delusion taking place when he grasped my finger and basically wouldn't let go. "That's a powerful grip you have on my finger there," quoth I, before reclaiming my fickle finger of fate. He told me he normally lives in Byron Bay. "Oh," said I, the almost lamb to the slaughter. "I love Byron Bay." He said, "Will you drive me there?" I considered this briefly. Several nanoseconds passed by before I remembered where I had seen his face. And he has a beautiful face, this man. He is a beautiful looking man. Sleeping rough outside the ANZ Bank on Lawson Street. I actually had given him some money while he slept. Yes, beautiful face, beautiful mind. Unmedicated schizophrenic. Damn. Because I quite liked him. I quite liked him. George's tough, nuggety friend saw him. "Fuck off, you cunt." The handsome Hungarian ran like a rabbit. I felt bad for him. Truly I did. I said to the friend, "Now you must be nice to the insane. For there, but for the grace of God, go you." George just smiled and strummed his guitar. The mate said, "Screw that cunt. He is an idiot." I said, "Nah, nothing that a shot of clozapine won't fix. Don't piss him off though. He is unmedicated. The type that will carry a delusion about you and kill you one day. You know, forensic patient, serial killer. Tough guy, suddenly didn't feel quite so tough." But who am I? The witch of White's Hill and unpaid lay psych nurse and angel of mercy, yet interminably incapable of attracting a partner that is, you know, a stayer and relatively sane. To judge. Ha ha ha, fell off my broomstick. And my friend Julie Goddard commented, "Ha ha ha, love your stories." And I replied, "All true too. My life is stranger than fiction, another gift from being the daughter and granddaughter of witches. Never a dull moment." And Julie replied, "Lol, better than a boring life." And I replied, "There have been many times that I have prayed for a boring life, but not too boring. I would get bored, laughing my ass off, aiming for a serene, peaceful, and wise life," I meant. I don't know why I've got all this irritation around my throat. It's annoying. I have another drinky poo. Looking forward to my Jack Daniels and Coke and a bit of a dance tomorrow night. So after this I'll have to have a wee rest because I need to conserve and preserve and build up some yummy, yummy energies, my darlings. Note to self, I must buy a trilby and a big black lace parasol for next time I dress as myself, the witch of White's Hill. Holland Park, darling. Holland Park. Shut up, Patsy. 3:14 a.m. home safe, in my bath. The casino cancelled the music in favour of the football. So I hung out with George for a while, then stumbled on my sore tootsies to McDonald's, hoping to get a coffee frappe, but settled for a chocolate thick shake instead. They don't do frappes at that Macca's. What the? Anywho, all good. I had a lovely time living La Vida Loca, and La Sirene had my back. I had fun dancing with my favourite women friends, as I always do. Glad to be home safe from the ghouls and ghosts and zombies and other exotic stuff. Casino security told me it's not a Halloween party and they don't encourage dressing up, but they let me in without my hat. Who runs that place? Mormons? I got upstairs and plenty of other people in costume were there and joined in with me. No need to be so fricking uptight. The worst horrors that exist in that joint are some of the obnoxious staff and a few actual spooks on the upper floors, laughing my ass off, and a few of my creepy stalkers. But they do that every weekend, enough to give me the heebie-jeebies and shake it off. Shake, rattle and roll, babies. I need me some chicken feet for next Halloween. I need me some something. But anyway, Halloween is over for the year now. Onwards and upwards, babies. 1st of November 2014, I had a wonderful Halloween at the casino and at Irish Murphy's. I danced with my beautiful girlfriends and one guy friend. We had a blast. Crystal surprised me by arriving at Irish Murphy's too. Smiley face. 5:03 a.m. Just let the chooks out and discovered Mrs. BB, which is short for bastard buzzard, scrubber turkey creature, laying her eggs in BB's mound while he lovingly watched her. Oh, true love, man. He has worked his tail off to get that mound large enough for his mate's approval. He looked so proud. Laila Tov, Boker Tov. Good night, good morning. I am exhausted and my feet are spasming like crazy. My birds, domestic and wild, are doing their thing. Time for Penny and Mama to sleep. And then I have a quote here by Janice Ian, famous singer from the 70s. At 17, I knew the truth, that love was meant for beauty queens. Blah, blah, blah. That was my swan song because I met that dickhead that I actually married and bred with when I was 17. And if I knew now what I knew then, I would not have even smiled in his direction. But it was a setup by my mother, so there was that. Evil it was. Anyway, Janice Ian. Most books on witchcraft will tell you that witches work naked. This is because most books on witchcraft were written by men. Neil Gaiman. And that is wonderful, especially since that quote came from a man, because it happens to be true, darlings. Men have all sorts of crazy fantasies about us, wild witchy women. All we have to do is put on a purple corset and watch them devolve into a puddle of, never mind. I said to my psychiatrist in our debrief yesterday, I said, my new internet flame that's, hasn't manifested into 3D reality yet, probably won't now because I got pissed off with him. I said, it is what it is, people. I said to Brian, Brian, it was actually quite delightful. He said, oh, why? He said, what did you do, Tanya? with your Thanatos and Eros as you're dying from COVID. I said, well, he asked me to put on my purple corset and implied that I'd promised to put it on, which I had not done. At no stage had I promised him the purple corset. But to be a good sport, I said, I put it on. And my wonderful psychiatrist, who is delightful, we have such a good relationship, therapeutic alliance, not too much transference, don't get us wrong, but we have a wonderful rapport, and he is a sweetheart. He said to me, oh my God, you actually put on the corset. He said, he says, men love that. And I said to him, what on earth is wrong with you men, doctor? I said, the corset is only naked from, just above the breasts up. All you see is shoulders and bare arms. I said, there's far more skin on show. It's far more tantalising when you see a beautiful young girl in a bikini. And my doctor very teasingly said to me, it's not about the skin, Tanya. It's about the domination. He said, even gay men love that. And I was like, oh, dear God. Oh, dear goddess. But anyway, that's all we have for there. The purple corset memory, the purple people eater. And I'll put that in my hat and I'll stuff it. Life is beautiful, people, with or without a romantic paramour winding me up about my corset. I don't care. I have everything I need, everything I want. It's already inside me. And the right man will recognise that and know how to behave appropriately. Because I'm not a dominatrix, contrary to how I present myself and dress. I like an equal, a man who can keep up with me intellectually, spiritually, sexually, emotionally, and who will be there with me by my side with pride and honour and integrity in good times and in dark, scary times too. Because I got through this last 4 years, this COVID epoch of misery by myself. I'm a strong, powerful, fierce warrior goddess spirit with enough love to create new paradigms on a daily basis. So it's not wise to dehumanize, delegitimize, play cool games with my heart. Ask Dave Charles and dead David Davidson how that worked out for them. Not very well, babies. Anyway, I choose to forgive to a certain degree, not completely, and let go and let God, because they have their own journey and pathway now, one in the next dimension and one that still tries to snaffle past me at crossroads. But I must admit, since I invoked Papa Legba, the guardian of crossroads, he hasn't bothered me since. So it was actually quite comical when I went dancing at the Brooklyn Standard for the first time in about 12 months on the 25th of August 2023, and I found myself dancing beside or near his cousin. It was a bit odd. And I could have actually played that very differently and been super conciliatory and charming and charismatic and wooed the cousin to wind Dave up. But I'm not there to play games. I go to dance, have a wonderful time, listen to the music, dance to the music, have a couple of drinks and go home unsullied and untainted by false, feckless, former lovers and their family members. And if they really wanted to be in my life, they had 10 years to get their shit together. So no, it won't be happening now. Too little, too late. And I'm happy and contented to continue with my walk on planet Earth, aka hellscape, and live my best life. And the right man who is worthy of me and values my heart and my mind, my spirit, my soul, and my sexuality will turn up one fine day, maybe in the next dimension. And I'm okay with that, perfectly okay. So on that note, I send you love, blessings, peace, the blossoming and re-innovation of your spiritual core and your meridians, the healing of your mind, body and spirit, so that you can love the ones you're with in honouring, kind, respectful ways and have a full, happy, vibrant, joyful, playful, wonderful sexual life together with your true love partners and your families. And I was thrown aside and cast to the side like vermin and left for dead many, many times. But those men did not comprehend my power as a woman and as a spirit. So the last laugh, babies, is always and forever mine. And the joke is on them for their vapid cruelties. They will never have me in the full, vibrant, joyous, sweet, powerful, glorious, sexually satisfying way, because they blew it. And they don't care. They're oblivious to what they shat on and tainted and ruined. They're oblivious to the damage they did. They really don't care, But I grew back. I grew myself back, and I'm ready. The little 10 days of raw test sent by the gods showed me I am ready for a real, enduring, honest, open-hearted, deep, loving connection. And I need only wait for the right time and the right man to come along and prove to me that his heart is authentic and true and respectful. And then, it's going to be amazing. It'll be amazing when I finally find this person and he finally finds me. Because it's going to be fireworks and Catherine wheels and immense beauty and power and joy, like those other feckless, malevolent idiots could have had if they hadn't been so cruel and sadistic for years. So time will tell. My time and my stories will be told. Love you all. God's bless. Don't worry, be happy. Hold the line, people.